Most people believe intelligence is about memorizing facts, getting perfect test scores, or having all the answers. But that's completely wrong. The smartest people I've studied don't necessarily have photographic memories or genius IQs. What separates them is something far more accessible. They've mastered specific mental habits that anyone can learn. And if you find value in what I'm about to share, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss future insights that could transform how you navigate life's challenges. Today, I'm breaking down 5 cognitive patterns that distinguish exceptional thinkers from everyone else. These aren't complicated. They don't require special talent, but they're rarely taught, and most people never discover them on their own. First, they replace defending with understanding. Watch what happens when 2 people disagree. The average person immediately goes into defense mode. Their ego kicks in. They interrupt, they raise their voice, they search for flaws in the other person's logic. The entire interaction becomes a competition where someone has to win and someone has to lose. Now observe how truly intelligent people handle disagreement. They lean in with curiosity. They say things like, "Walk me through your reasoning," or "What experience led you to that conclusion?" Notice the difference? They're not trying to demolish the opposing viewpoint. They're genuinely interested in understanding it. This approach does something remarkable. When you stop treating disagreements as battles, the other person drops their defenses. They're no longer fighting you. They're thinking alongside you. And here's where it gets interesting. When people feel heard rather than attacked, they become willing to examine their own assumptions. Sometimes they'll even talk themselves out of positions you could never argue them out of. The smartest people understand a fundamental truth. You cannot force someone to change their mind through confrontation, but you can create the space where they choose to reconsider on their own. That's infinitely more powerful. Second, they think in systems, not isolated events. Here's where most people trap themselves. Something goes wrong, and they zoom in so close they can't see anything except that single failure. They bomb a presentation and conclude they're terrible at public speaking. They get ghosted after a date and decide they're fundamentally unlovable. One setback becomes evidence of permanent inadequacy. Exceptional thinkers do the opposite. They zoom out. They look for patterns and connections. When that presentation fails, they don't spiral into self-doubt. They analyze, did I prepare enough? Was I speaking to the wrong audience? Did I skip meals and tank my energy? Was I trying to memorize instead of understand? See what happened there? A single failure transformed into multiple data points. Each data point suggests specific adjustments. The problem isn't, I'm bad at this. The problem becomes, I need to adjust my preparation strategy, or I need to eat before important events. This isn't just optimism, it's practical intelligence. When you see patterns instead of isolated disasters, you gain leverage. You can test different approaches. You can identify what's actually broken instead of assuming everything is broken. The people who seem to have everything figured out aren't luckier or more talented. They've just gotten better at asking, what's the real pattern here? Instead of, why am I such a failure? Third, they guard their mental energy ruthlessly. Walk through life with the average person and you'll notice something exhausting. They're constantly worried about things they cannot influence. Will their coworker like them? Will traffic be bad? Will the weather ruin their plans? Will that random comment someone made 3 days ago turn into drama? All of this worry accomplishes exactly nothing except draining their mental battery. They're spending energy on things that will happen or not happen, regardless of how much they stress about them. Now watch someone operating at a higher level. They've internalized a simple filter. Can I influence this? If yes, they think about it. If no, they don't. Bad weather coming? They can't control that, so they don't stress about it. But they can control whether they bring a jacket. That's where their attention goes. Worried about making a good impression? They can't control what others think, but they can control showing up prepared and being genuine. That's what they focus on. This isn't about not caring. It's about directing your limited mental resources toward things that actually respond to your effort. When you stop hemorrhaging energy on the uncontrollable, you suddenly have so much more capacity for solving actual problems. The people who seem impossibly calm and effective haven't eliminated stress from their lives. They've just stopped volunteering for stress that serves no purpose. Fourth, They weaponize silence. In most conversations, people are terrified of gaps. Someone stops talking, and they immediately jump in with words, any words, just to keep things moving. They're so uncomfortable with quiet that they'll say things they don't mean or haven't thought through just to avoid those few seconds of silence. Exceptional thinkers have made peace with silence. More than that, they've learned to use it strategically. When you ask them a question, they might pause for several seconds before responding. That pause isn't hesitation or confusion. It's them actually thinking. And here's what that pause accomplishes. It makes everyone pay closer attention. We're trained to believe that important ideas require consideration. When someone takes time to think before speaking, we unconsciously assume their answer will be worth waiting for. Silence does something else too. It creates space for others to fill. When you resist the urge to jump in during every conversational gap, other people keep talking. They share more, they clarify their thoughts. They reveal what's really on their minds. The person who talks the least often learns the most. This is why the quietest person in the meeting is sometimes the most influential. They're not silent because they have nothing to say. They're silent because they're collecting information, considering angles, and waiting for the moment when their words will have maximum impact. Try this experiment. Next time someone asks you something important, pause for 3 full seconds before answering. You'll feel the urge to speak immediately. Resist it. Those 3 seconds will improve your response quality more than you'd expect. Fifth, they insert space between stimulus and response. This might be the most transformative habit of all. Most people live in reaction mode. Something happens and they immediately respond. Someone cuts them off in traffic, instant anger. Someone criticizes their work, immediate defensiveness. Plans fall through, instant frustration or resignation. They're on autopilot, and autopilot responses are rarely our best responses. Exceptional thinkers have trained themselves to insert a gap. Something happens, and before they react, they pause. Just a breath, just a moment. In that space, they ask themselves questions. Is this worth my energy? What response actually serves me here? What would my best self do in this moment? Someone sends a hostile email. The average person fires back immediately, probably making things worse. The exceptional thinker reads it, feels the anger, then steps away. They wait 30 minutes. They reread it. Often they realize the person is stressed or scared, not actually attacking them. Their response becomes strategic rather than emotional. This isn't weakness, this is power. The person who stays calm while everyone else loses their composure holds all the cards. The person who thinks while others react makes better decisions, every single time. Here's what this means for you. You don't need to be the most credentialed person in the room. You don't need a genius IQ or a photographic memory. You don't need to have all the answers or impress everyone with your knowledge. You just need to think differently than most people around you. Replace arguing with questioning. Look for patterns instead of drowning in single failures. Focus exclusively on what you can control. Get comfortable with silence and make it work for you. Insert that crucial pause between what happens and how you respond. Most people won't do any of this. They'll keep defending their positions, spiraling over setbacks, worrying about everything, filling every silence, and reacting instantly to everything that triggers them. But you're not most people. If you practice these 5 patterns, even just one at a time, something shifts. You'll spot solutions where others see dead ends. You'll stay grounded when everyone around you is panicking. Your decisions improve because you're operating from clarity, not reactive emotion. People will start seeking your perspective. They'll wonder how you stay so composed. And here's the beautiful part. None of this requires natural talent or special circumstances. It only requires awareness, intentionality, and the willingness to think before you act. That's real intelligence. And now you know exactly how to develop it. Start with one habit. Maybe it's pausing before reacting, or maybe it's asking questions instead of defending your position. Choose one and practice it deliberately for the next 7 days. Drop a comment below telling me which habit you're committing to. I read every comment, and I'm genuinely curious which of these resonates most with you. And if this perspective helped you see things differently, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.